Two properties, same building size, same location, same rent on paper, but one of them could cost you or make you tens of thousands of dollars more over the life of the lease. The difference? Three letters, NNN. Today, I'm going to show you exactly what that means and why it matters. I'm Sean McCool, commercial real estate agent and partner at CBC Cornerstone in Casper, Wyoming. I've been helping buyers, sellers, landlords, and tenants navigate commercial real estate across Wyoming, and today I'm going to break down the four main lease structures in plain English. Let's get to it. Gross lease. Let's start with the simplest one, the gross lease. In a gross lease, the tenant pays one flat monthly rent, and that's it. The landlord takes that rent and uses it to cover all of the operating expenses on the property: property taxes, building insurance, maintenance, repairs, utilities, even janitorial in some cases. Think of it like renting an apartment. You pay your rent, your landlord pays the property taxes and fixes the roof if it leaks. You don't get a separate bill for those things. For tenants, this is the most predictable structure. You know exactly what you're paying every month. There are no surprises. For landlords, the risk is that if expenses go up, say property taxes increase or the HVAC needs replacing, they absorb that cost. So landlords typically build in a cushion into the gross rent rate to protect themselves. You'll see gross leases most often in office buildings and multi-tenant professional spaces. Net lease, single net. Now we start moving down the spectrum toward more tenant responsibility. A net lease, sometimes called a single net or a in lease, means that the tenant pays their base rent plus property taxes. The landlord still handles the building insurance and maintenance. Honestly, you don't see true single net leases very often in practice. Most deals skip right past this and go to a double net or triple net, but it's worth knowing the term so you can recognize it. Double net lease, NN. The double net lease or the NN is where things start to get more common, especially in retail and light industrial. Here, the tenant pays base rent plus property taxes plus building insurance. Two of the three big expenses are now on the tenant. The landlord takes responsibility for structural maintenance, the roof, the HVAC system, and major repairs. That's the part that the landlord retains in a net lease. For tenants, the trade-off is that your total monthly cost can fluctuate a bit year to year. If the county reassesses the property, taxes may go up, you feel that. If the insurance premium increases, that hits you too. You'll find net leases commonly in retail strip centers and situations where the landlord wants to stay involved in maintaining the building's condition. Triple net leases, NNN. All right, this is the one you've probably heard the most about. The triple net lease, or NNN, is a true triple net lease. In a true triple net lease, the tenant pays everything: base rent, property taxes, insurance, and all maintenance and operating expenses, including the roof and structure in a fully absolute triple net lease. The landlord essentially collects a check every month and does very little else. This is why triple net properties are so popular with investors. You buy the building, sign a long-term tenant, think like Dollar General, a Walgreens, a fast food chain, and you have predictable passive income for 5, 10, 15, even 20 years. That's a very attractive investment vehicle, especially for people who want real estate income without the headaches of active management. For tenants, typically large corporate or franchise businesses, the trade-off is that they get a lower base rent in exchange for taking on those expenses. For a national brand operating hundreds of locations, that's often a trade they're willing to make because they want control over how their property is maintained. Important nuances. Now here's where I want to slow down because there are a few things that trip people up constantly. Number one, triple net doesn't always mean the same thing. I can't stress this enough. The term triple net gets used loosely in the market. Just because a listing says triple net doesn't mean the tenant is responsible for everything. You need to read the actual lease. Some triple net leases can carve out the roof. Some exclude the parking lot. Some exclude structural repairs. The devil is in the details. Always, always read what's actually included before you agree to anything. Number two, modified gross leases are extremely common. A modified gross lease is a bit of a hybrid. The tenant pays base rent plus some negotiated expenses, maybe utilities and janitorial, while the landlord covers taxes, insurance, and maintenance. This is very common in office buildings because it gives both parties flexibility. Number three, CAM charges. In multi-tenant properties, retail centers, office, parks, you'll often see something called CAM, C-A-M, which stands for Common Area Maintenance. This is a tenant's pro rata share of maintaining shared spaces, parking lots, lobbies, landscaping, lighting. CAM is usually billed separately on top of the base rent and is most common in double net and triple net multi-tenant situations. Make sure, I can't stress this enough, make sure you understand what's included in CAM before you sign the lease. Quick recap. Let me give you a quick way to remember this. Gross lease. Landlord carries the load. It's simple for tenants. Single net, tenant picks up taxes. Rare in practice. Double net, tenant covers taxes and insurance, common in retail. Triple net, tenant covers everything. Landlord collects passively. The more nets there are, the more the tenant is responsible for, and typically the lower the base rent to compensate that. Understanding lease structures isn't just technical knowledge, it's negotiating power. Whether you're a tenant trying to evaluate your true occupancy cost, or you're a seasoned investor analyzing a potential acquisition, knowing what you're actually agreeing to can save you or cost you a significant amount of money over the life of a lease. If you have questions about leasing commercial space in Wyoming, or you're looking at a commercial investment property and want to talk through the numbers, I would love to connect. I'm Sean McCool with CBC Cornerstone Real Estate in Casper, Wyoming. You can reach me at 307-267-4966 or find me right here on YouTube or other platforms. If this video was helpful, give it a like, subscribe for more Wyoming commercial real estate content, and drop a comment below. I always read every one. I'll see you in the next one.